Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Tristana, the Yordle Gunner.
Is that a rocket in your pocket?
Consider yourself spanked, Nugget!
You think you can outshoot me? Try to keep up, old-timer.
Tristana is a free-spirited, fearless commando. Though she's smaller than most, her bravery often drives her into the heat of battle, where she blows away her targets with her trusty cannon Boomer. In-game, Tristana is a highly mobile marksman who works best using her massive late-game range to fire from distance before jumping in to lay down huge burst damage and kick off her signature reset rampages.
Ha! Ever seen a Yordle fly?
Tristana's passive is Draw a Bead. As she levels up, Tristana gains increased range on her basic attacks and targeted abilities. So while she starts out with a pretty standard range, by level 18 she can pew-pew from over 7 Teemos away. Tristana's Q, Rapid Fire, grants Trist a huge attack speed boost for a few seconds. That's all it does. Save Rapid Fire for instances when you can reliably attack targets for the full duration. It only lasts a few seconds and has a lengthy cooldown, so make every shot count. Tristana's W is Rocket Jump. After a brief pause, the wee Rocketeer launches herself to a target location, damaging and slowing all enemies in her landing site. Note that Rocket Jump gives Tristana more airtime the farther away her target is, and being the super soldier commando that she is, she's able to use her other abilities in midair. Most importantly, because this part is awesome, earning kills or assists resets Rocket Jump's cooldown. If you had infinite mana and infinite near-dead enemies, you could potentially jump forever.
How's that for a Bandle City beatdown?
Save Rocket Jump as a gank escape whenever the enemy jungler comes in for a kill. The range and the ability is pretty huge, meaning Trist can safely extend farther than most marksmen in lane. Tristana's E is Explosive Charge, which has a passive and active component. Passively, Explosive Charge causes anything Tristana kills with basic attacks to explode and deal damage to other surrounding enemies. When activated, Tristana throws a sticky mine to a target unit. After a few seconds, the charge explodes, dealing damage to all nearby enemies. Tristana can pump up the bomb by attacking her charged target before they go boom. The more attacks, the bigger the bang. If Tristana fully pumps up the charge, her next basic attack will detonate it early. If she rocket jumps onto a target with explosive charge, she'll deal extra damage depending on how pumped up the charge is. And, just like basic attacks, she'll detonate it early if she jumps onto a fully primed target. Finally, Tristana can attach explosive charge to enemy turrets. When she does, the ability's explosion is significantly larger and actually damages the turret itself. Turns out, Yordles are pretty good at blowing stuff up. Who knew? Use explosive charge to shove minions and siege the enemy team. The passive will mean you push naturally, and the charge itself can deal tons of damage to turrets. Tristana's ultimate is Buster Shot. Trist fires a massive round at her target that knocks them back and damages them. Buster Shot's powerful enough to also knock back nearby enemies without damaging them. Note that Buster Shot's knockback distance increases as Trist levels up the ability, meaning that late game, Trist can fire enemies over most walls. Use Buster Shot to keep initiators away from your delicate little face. The knockback will often buy you the few extra seconds you need to get away to safety, or murder them. Most marksmen work best sitting at the back of teamfights, safely shooting whatever comes into range as their front line keeps the enemy assassins at bay. Tristana starts fights this way, but she's also League's Daredevil reset carry, and gets her multi-kills by jumping onto vulnerable targets and shooting them in the face from pretty much point-blank range. Here are some fancy combos to turn Trist into a rampaging, resetting Rocketeer. Here's Tristana's best burst combo. Start by tagging your target with explosive charge, hitting rapid fire after so you can charge up the bomb as quickly as possible. Once it's ready to pop, rocket jump in to deal huge amounts of damage. If that hasn't already killed your target, turn to your basic attacks and Buster Shot to secure the kill in style. Once they're dead, look for either potential rocket jump victims or an avenue to safety, depending on how ham you and your team are feeling. Because you can cast Buster Shot while rocket jumping, there are quite a few clever combos, the most aggressive of which is to rocket jump over your opponent and cast Buster Shot as you cross past them. On the more defensive side, anytime you're in danger, use rocket jump to cover Buster Shot's cast animation so you don't have to stop to use it. In typical team fights, the enemy tanks and fighters will try to get in your face as much as possible. On its own, Buster Shot is a solid disengage tool against Trist's tough frontline enemies, but by hitting them with explosive charge and pumping it up with rapid fire, she can use that same Buster Shot to send the enemy team their very own buddy bomb.
Get jumped.
Unlocking explosive charge at level 1 pretty much guarantees you'll hit level 2 before your opponents when you actively push your lane. Make the most of your impending level advantage by getting aggressive as soon as you ding and earning yourself that awesome first blood gold. Even though Tristana and Thrush start off focusing different targets, their massive level advantage gives them a relatively easy kill on Lulu. When she's played right, Tristana can make assassin-style plays all on her own, even early in the game. After priming explosive charge, Flash Rocket Jump followed by Buster Shot secures the kill quickly and lets her jump back out to safety. Using explosive charge on turrets is an excellent way of disrupting your enemies as they try to defend. Its explosion is way bigger and can do awesome things like kick the crap out of unsuspecting defenders, as well as stop champions from recalling. Sorry, Soraka. Not sorry. Being a pretty squishy marksman, Tristana's often a prime target for enemy assassins and fighters. Fortunately for her, she has a couple of tools to help her survive these encounters. Rocket Jump helps her escape Kha'Zix's burst here, while keeping her close enough to reply from range with a basic attack. Kha'Zix closes back in, but the knockback from Buster Shot again creates distance, forcing the Void Bug to flee. Well, try to flee. Remember that while jumping toward the enemy team often deals great damage, if you don't get a kill, you're extremely squishy and extremely exposed to attack. Here Tristana gets a little cocky and ends up paying for it with a boulder to the face. Seriously, don't go overly aggressive or you're going to cost yourself some games. Finally, here's Tristana doing what Tristana does best, repeatedly looking for opportunities to jump in, get her resets, and jump again and again. Noticing that Ezreal's isolated, she rocket jumps in more for the slow than the damage to prevent his escape. Looping around, she spots that Lissandra's only one hit away from dead, and then decides that a 4v2 is pretty safe, jumps into Jarvan's Cataclysm, and wraps up an easy bunny-hopping quadra kill. Thanks for tuning in to the Tristana Champion Spotlight. Please subscribe to the Riot Games YouTube channel and leave us your comments just below the video.
Whoa! Yeah.